You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome back to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 49. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, you know what? Since it's a new year, I'm actually changing our opening question up just a little bit. Instead of just giving you two options, I'm going to start giving you three, maybe even four. We'll see how things go.
No.
So tonight's opening question is, if you had a lightsaber, would it be red, blue, or green? Cyrus Martin.
I want to comment about something for a second.
Oh no!
All right, go ahead.
When you were a kid, like a little kid, and this won't apply to you, Lainey, because you're too young. But for everybody else that was old enough to be a kid when the first Star Wars movies came out, did you get like lifesaver and lightsaber mixed up?
A little bit.
I was not a kid when they came out, and I used to get lightsaber and lifesaver mixed up.
I used to always, every time we go to the store, I always wanted to buy lifesavers because I thought it had something to do with Star Wars.
I did too, and I thought that like all the different colors were like different color lightsabers that I just didn't know about yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The green
I was
one.
like, oh, well, maybe that's in like a thing I haven't seen yet. And no, it wasn't. No.
So which one?
Just as a side note, Rudy, when he was growing up, thought pay-per-view was something you watched in a newspaper. Just saying.
Didn't Rudy also randomly speak with a weird accent?
Oh yeah, he sounded British when
British
we were young.
okay.
And literally, I don't know why, but like we would go places and people would look at my mom like, "Is he yours?"
The weather, yeah, I remember that.
Especially being in Texas. Lainey, what lightsaber would you be rolling with?
I want a blue lightsaber. I want a Skywalker blue lightsaber.
Gotcha.
I didn't pick.
Do what?
Oh yes, I know.
Yeah, he did. He said green.
Oh, green? Okay.
Which I already
I
knew because we've had that conversation. Like when he came up with his shield, he talked about how awesome the green lightsaber was and blew his mind.
The green lightsaber is really awesome. I just really like that Skywalker blue. I think it's really cool.
You know what, Eugene? I'm. You made me happy now that you remembered that. Thank you.
Yeah. I remember what happened on this show. I'm not like you where you go, did we do an episode?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Chris, what color lightsaber would you roll with?
Purple.
Whoa, no, I said
That's
red,
what I've
blue, or
always
green.
said if I could pick my
God
own.
dang it.
No, I just said that to mess with Ray. That because he was going to say purple.
God, Eugene like throws his shit.
Damn it!
I was gonna add purple in there, but all right. So you know what? Just
My story took the window. It's okay.
No. I like.
God damn it. I just said there was three options. God, you fucking favorite.
No. Okay. I will pick the red because I would probably go to the dark side. Let's just be honest.
And I would probably follow Chris there. Let's be realistic. Be like, okay.
I don't know if you're metal enough to fight.
I might not be. I would just be like, well, Chris is gonna go, so I'll just go with her.
Lainey'd have the Kylo Ren problem. She'd be on the dark side. She'd be like, but I really like rainbows.
Guys, all those people are suffering. That's bad, right?
Yeah, come on. Seriously? Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Ray, what color lightsaber are you rolling with?
Okay, I was gonna say purple because I wanted to be a badass like Samuel Jackson.
But I ruined it for you, didn't I?
I totally did.
Ah.
So now I want the dark saber. But that's
Ooh, the dark saber, yeah.
Why can't you just pick one of them?
because
What's the matter with you?
Because I want the dark saber. But
Yeah,
no.
what the fuck?
Well, then that's not my fault.
Which, by the way, I did not know about the dark saber until my brother started talking about it, and he's like, "Do you realize that was a file that they listed in Rogue One?"
Oh God, he's so annoying.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
saying.
it was, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and of course, I didn't pick up on it. And he's telling me about it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So,
Interesting.
Is it cool?
yeah, I think it's cool. Shut up.
That is actually really
So okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna make my pick and then I'm gonna tell you guys something real quick. So, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but our power is potentially starting to flickering.
So
Okay.
If we drop out, it's because we lost our power.
Okay, there we go.
How's,
'Cause
how's Canada looking, Laney?
wind kind
Scary
of
and awesome.
Yeah, it's
the wind kind of picked up there. So. Anyway, so damn, I got to go with the blue.
Okay.
Green was okay. Red's awesome, and especially like with who all holds red. But I'm gonna go with blue.
Hey, you know what would be really like underhanded is if like one of the like bad guy Jedis like used a blue lightsaber and nobody knew he was a bad guy, and he's like snuck up and started killing people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that already happened though, didn't it? Like Anakin had the blue.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
lightsaber.
the reason I like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber is because it was Anakin's.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that it has both sides to
Man,
it.
that's diabolical.
Have
Those
you
people, those people never saw him coming.
Nope.
Have y'all seen those memes where it's the still frame from A New Hope, and it's like your father wanted you to have this. He killed many children with it, or some that type of shit. It's just like, wow, that really, yeah, that's kind of dark.
Pretty much.
Speaking of which, yeah, I would still go with blue. Blue. I mean, blue's my favorite color. Yeah, I've always been attracted to the blue lightsabers. I mean, I like the green, but
Hello, blue.
So green's my favorite color, but I think the blue lightsabers are badass.
gotcha. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
all right. So on tonight's episode, it is we're a couple episodes in now on the new year, and I guess technically, and yeah, so it's 2017, and 2016 was kind of a lot of people just want to declare the entire year a dumpster fire.
Tire fire.
Yeah. That being said, yes, there was a lot of bad shit that happened in 2016. A lot of bad shit that happened in 2016. But that being said, not the entire year was not a dumpster fire. There were some good things, and tonight we're going to prove it. Even though I don't know if I don't know if I had to drag Cy kicking and screaming into this one, but so tonight I came up with the idea that we were going to do our top 10, mainly media, but there are some other things thrown in there as well, things from 2016. The thing I tasked everyone with was you have to have at least 2 movies, 2 TV shows, 2 other types of media, and then 4 other things. And you can add those other things to those other lists if you need to. So if like you mainly wanted to do with movies or mainly do TV shows or other things, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. But you had to have at least 2 of those other ones. And then, like I said, the other ones can kind of be, whatever. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start off. And this does not have to be like your number 1, your number 2. This is just 2 of them that really stood out for you. So we're going to go ahead and start with the movie category. I know, like I said, everyone has at least 2 movies, so we'll go ahead and start there. Would anyone like to go first with one of their standout movies for 2016?
Sure.
I'll go.
All right, Ray, what you got?
All right. And I got to be controversial, of course, with the first one.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Star Wars Rogue One continues to be a good Star Wars movie in the new era.
I
And
agree, 100%.
Agreed.
So, sorry, Cy. And
Oh no, Cy came around to my thinking on the last one. I think he was just drunk, but that's okay.
but I will
What
say,
about-
I've listened to some of your stuff, Cy, and I see where you're coming from. But you have said that it was a good movie, and
I did not say it was a bad movie. I just think it could have been better.
yes,
But yeah, me and Lainey, we agreed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Lainey makes good points.
I try.
well, that's good. And then the only other thing I was going to say about that is that we finally have a good prequel to Star Wars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was actually on my list as well. Was Rogue One?
That's a good question, actually. Is Rogue One better than Revenge of the Sith?
I told you I'm not going to rate these. I'm not going to do it because here's the thing. Even let's say I rate them right now. Let's say I say, okay, my number 1 is this, and I go all the way down the list because now we have 8 movies, technical 8 Star Wars movies. come, December, I've got to re-rank them again. And I'm just going to have to keep re-ranking them every year from here. And I'm just like, why? What's the purpose? I'm going to enjoy them and just go from there.
Enjoy them all as they are.
It's a good question, though. Yeah.
It is.
But it is a good question. If you're that type of person that has to have them ranked, that's a good question. So,
Something to ponder.
Lainey, what's one of the movies that are on your list? If Rogue One wasn't already on there.
Rogue One was on there. I
Okay.
actually had more than two, but
Okay, that's
'cause
fine.
I couldn't decide. But actually, one of the standout movies for 2016 for me was Deadpool.
Yep, it was on my.
I
It was on my honorable
loved it.
mentions.
Thank God.
I really love Deadpool, and it was nice to watch a Marvel movie that I felt like was so different than all the other Marvel movies in a really good way, other than Guardians of the Galaxy. But I don't know, it felt like it was just something that I wasn't expecting at all, and it was a very pleasant little surprise, and I'm actually really excited to see Ryan Reynolds continue with Deadpool. I think it's going to be really good, unless
Agreed.
he
Yeah,
lets Taylor Swift wear that costume again, and otherwise. Sorry?
I'm just so thankful that there's an R-rated Marvel movie out there that is very good, and that's what I liked about Deadpool is that they proved you can make an R-rated movie nowadays and it still make money.
Absolutely it will. Absolutely it will.
Sai, what's one of the standout movies for you from 2016?
Well, I was really glad that she said Deadpool because I thought I'd only seen 2 movies this year, and I was like, ugh. But I guess I'm gonna have to say Civil War.
Yep, that was on my list as well.
Whoa!
Right?
Sorry.
There's no fireworks going on. What's going on?
We're in the house by ourselves, and so she hears everything.
Oh Lord.
Actually, our neighbors across the street are having a party, so she's hearing them. Sorry.
Okay, well there you go. You were saying, Cyrus, Civil War.
Yeah, that was really good. I thought it was the best Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Like the other ones were good, but this one just had so much more to it that I like how they introduced some of the new characters, but they didn't feel like they were put on the back burner either. So
Yeah, Marvel's really good about making sure everybody gets at least a moment to shine in their movies.
I need to make a comment about something. In Civil War and also in Ant-Man, they did this thing where they've gotten really good with this technology where they can make people look younger. Like
that
with the
scene. Yeah, are you talking about the scene with Civil
Tony
War?
Stark?
With Tony Stark and he's all young? That was crazy.
Yeah, and then there was one in Ant-Man with Michael Douglas that was like that. And it's Disney doing this, right?
Yep.
See,
They're really good at that, man. They brought back all kinds of people.
yeah, and I was like, why does that look so good when the Rogue One stuff?
Because they're fucking good
Oh,
at
there
what
he
they do,
goes.
man. Shut up.
But they did really they did a really good job. It was a good movie.
Yes. Yep.
Chris, did you have a movie to add to this list?
Yes, but 2 of mine are animated. I really liked Zootopia.
That was,
It was
on my
on-
list too.
It was on my honorary mention as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I just really liked it. I like taking the kids to it. It's a couple of scenes still freak out Quinn, but it's a good movie.
What a good
That's
year
such
to
a
have
good
an animated movie talk about race.
Yes.
Yes. In a really, really good way.
Yes. Yeah. It was
It was funny. It was deep.
So good.
It was like, it really surprised the heck. Because when I first saw the stuff on it, I thought, okay, well, this is Disney's, hey, we have to have something to fill this slot. It's one of their throwaway movies. We'll never hear
That's
about
what
it
I
again.
said too.
And then watched it and was like, wow, this was actually really good. Like,
very, very good. Yeah.
yeah.
And our kids really liked it.
Yeah, my boys enjoyed it too. So
So good. So good.
What movie?
Zootopia.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. You should go watch it. It's really good.
You should go watch it.
Oh, okay.
Which what's funny is on my Pinterest, I keep seeing these comics showing up of people who are like
They're
Like-
shipping, yeah, Judy and
And Nick.
Nick.
and Nick getting together, and I'm
No.
just like, no.
No, they're
Physically
pals.
impossible, first of all. They can't. How would that work? And they would never have babies.
Well, and also, I just don't appreciate people having to have a love connection. I got into an argument with a teacher at school about a love connection in Rogue One the other day, and I just
Really?
oh yeah, I went off on this whole rant.
Me too. With what?
Well, her whole thing, she was like, I just really needed them to kiss. I was like, why though? I said, they're in the middle of a rebellion. There's a lot of other shit going on. I said, I can guarantee you that the last thing they're thinking about is making out with each other.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't have it any other way. I said,
They-
I don't need a bullshit romantic relationship in my movie to make it interesting to me.
No, they were comforting each other, and that's all they needed.
Yes, and that's exactly what I told her. I was like, they're not in love. I don't think they're in love with each other. They're part of a rebellion with each other. They're soldiers together. That's a big deal. They're sharing a common bond. But anyway, sorry, that was really random. But
It's
That's the same excuse that I used in the bush. You know, you do what
oh,
you got to do.
Jesus. But yes,
Well, the two movies I actually had listed have actually both been named, Rogue One and Captain America, as well as some of the other ones I had in my honorable mentions list. So I'm going to pull another one from my honorable mention, and that was Doctor Strange.
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God!
I
Like
haven't either.
It's
Oh,
good.
you have to.
this movie is like, we pretty much think at this time that we've seen everything when it comes to special effects. Like we're like, okay, well, nothing's going to surprise me now. No, go watch this movie; it will surprise the hell out of you.
Laney, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm on my way. Yeah.
Bye.
Yes, this movie. Number one, it was definitely one of the. It was just a fun. It was a fun movie. It was well done. The special effects were just phenomenal. And yet it's yet another aspect of the Marvel universe that we're being introduced to. You know, we had technology, we had biochemistry, we have the outer space stuff. Now we're getting the metaphysical stuff, and it's just like, yep, sure, but why not? Throw it all in there. Let's go. It looks awesome. So, yeah, I loved every bit of it. It was awesome. The Cape as a character is just great. So
Yep. Worked well.
Yep, worked really well. So, all right, I guess we're back around to Ray. Did you have any other? We've already named your second movie, or was there another movie you wanted to throw out there?
Well, you guys have named all the movies that I had listed, but there is another one that I want to talk about, and it's because it's getting a lot of good feedback from what I've heard, and it's one that I want to go see. It's not one that I have seen yet, but I am excited to see Arrival.
Yes, I've heard nothing but good on it.
So that's another good one that's coming. I just haven't seen it yet.
What
Yeah, I
movie?
heard that was really good too.
Arrival.
That's supposed
Oh
to be
yeah.
super great. And a really good take on an alien movie, apparently.
Yeah. So that's We'll see what happens with it. I'm excited to see. Apparently, it's kind of like a slow burn, so don't expect like a lot of action, which is fine. You don't need action all the time, but
That's what she said.
Just like Rogue One, right, baby? Just like Rogue
someone
Get
picked
out.
that one up.
yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right, Lainey, do you have another movie to add?
Yes, I do. I was actually going to add the Ghostbusters reboot.
Honorable mention.
Because,
Wow.
I mean, did it have its issues? Of course it did. But Ghostbusters kind of added a whole new thing to my life, which was cosplaying as a Ghostbuster and getting to do all kinds of cool stuff and meeting all kinds of really cool people. And so that movie kind of opened up a whole new door for me, and I've really, really loved every second of it, and I really like kind of what that movie stands for. So it was a big highlight of my year this year for sure.
Good deal. Sai, you got another movie to throw into the pile, or?
Actually, this has been a very strange year for me. I haven't been able to watch a lot of movies. I've gone, through a lot of changes this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And movies was not on the top of my priority list most of the time. So I just haven't watched that many movies.
That's cool, dude.
But I plan on catching up. I've got some. I don't know when I'm going to get to them, but I've got some that I'm going to be watching.
Cool.
Ugh, I'm so behind on everything.
That's okay.
I haven't watched any of these shows, the Netflix shows,
Oh, wait. We're going to get to it. Chris, do you have another movie you want to throw in there?
Sure. There was, I have two left. There was Finding Dory, which I thought was pretty cute. And then Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I never saw that. Was it good?
It was good. And it was actually one of the few movies that my dad actually really liked. My dad, he's not a movie guy, but when he came over, we sat down and we watched it. And he was like, that's pretty good, which is an amazing review from him.
Yeah, but especially when he starts off, we're like, hey, let's watch this. And he's like, really, we're going to watch this?
Yeah, and then he liked it. And I liked it. I thought it was really good. So those are the movies I had.
Very cool. Yeah, I saw the commercials and stuff for it. It just never really, hit my radar that, to watch it. So
yeah, it's a really interesting take on what happens to journalists when they go overseas and are in war zones, and what actually happens in the relationships that form, and how intense it is, and how they get used to it and think it's normal.
Like
Cool.
a look inside Christiane Amanpour's everyday life.
Yeah.
Lainey, do you have anything else to add to the list?
Nope, I'm good. I didn't
right.
see anything this year, so.
Yeah, everyone's mentioned the two movies and everything on my honorable mentions list. So let's go ahead and move on to television. Ray, TV show.
All right, so I've mentioned it before in the podcast, and it's Westworld. This show, if you've not seen it, is a great storytelling. Some good characters, some characters that you really want to root for, and then a couple that you really don't want to root for. You have a couple of actors that are well known and some that are not so known, and it's a really good combination of everything. It's a Western, but it's also a sci-fi, and it was really entertaining.
I watched one episode of it, but I really liked it.
I'm halfway through it, and I love it. And part of it is
it's going to get better.
You're just in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Part of it is what you said. I love sci-fi, and I have a special place in my heart for Westerns, and I've always liked that combination of the two, which is, I guess, why everyone loved Firefly so much, because it was kind of the same thing. So
I'll just say I can't believe that we have to wait almost another 2 years for this.
I know.
Season 2. Anyway, but yes, totally worth the watching.
Lainey, TV show from 2016.
This show didn't start in 2016, but can I still use it?
Absolutely.
Because I think it had one of its best seasons this year. So there's a Netflix show that I think I've mentioned it on the show before, but it's BoJack Horseman.
I've heard good things about that
Oh
show.
my God. For real. If you're not watching this, you need to be watching it. I know, it's a cartoon for adults. No. It is so much more than that. It is so, so good and so intense and deals with some very, very real issues. And I've loved it. It's been so, so good. But yeah, this season, they just did some really interesting stuff. They had an episode where there was no dialogue whatsoever. It's sort of like they let some super crazy creative person have this as their brainchild, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want with it. It's a great example of what happens when you get a lot of really smart, really creative people into a room. But yeah, this season of BoJack Horseman was just really amazing, and I have loved every second of it, and I cannot wait to see what they come out with this year. And I'm sure I will sit down and binge watch the entire thing when it happens. But so
cool.
good. So good.
Cyrus?
We're doing shows, right?
Yes, we're doing shows.
Okay, well, the only show I've really watched other than Walking Dead was The Man in the High Castle.
And it's on my to-do list.
So, I've got one that you don't have.
True. Very true.
So there.
Yeah, and it's great. It's awesome.
Yep, I love the concept. I love the
And
No idea.
that guy has retweeted my thing more than once. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, he's a very nice guy. Very,
Jake's
very.
right?
Yes, I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, I suck.
No, you're American.
Yeah.
Very cool. Chris, TV show for 2016.
Well, Westworld, and then this one we just discovered this year, and he's been on longer than one season, but it's Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Oh yes.
Particularly fun this year because it was the election year, and I just
John Oliver, he's so good for an election year.
Hilarious, and his writers are they're awesome.
I love that he takes the blame for Donald Trump.
I didn't see that.
He's so cute.
He actually dared Donald Trump in like 2008 to run.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So,
Yes,
but
he
I
did.
just like, because this last, I guess, year and a bit is the first year that I really got into politics. I never really cared before, but when we had I voted for the first time at the end of 2015 in the election that we had, and that's when I started really getting into politics. And so, yeah, it's been fun watching him and his take on things.
Yeah, because it is.
I love him on The
granted, he
Daily
has an
Show.
entire week to do the show, but still, it's very well thought out.
So well researched too. Like they research just so aggressively everything so that they can't get called on for being biased. We're like, no, we researched this. We got all the facts. We gave it to you. We didn't make this shit up. So.
Yep.
Not to mention, he also now holds the record for giveaways on the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he gave away more than Oprah.
Oh.
He gave away because he gave the debt away.
Yes, that was a phenomenal episode.
That was great.
That was good. Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, Westworld was one of the ones on my list. The other one that was on my list, like I said, I hadn't finished Westworld, but I sure as hell finished Stranger Things.
Yes.
Oh, I still haven't finished Stranger Things.
Oh my God, so good! I can't wait for the second season. Like,
Good.
I had heard so much good stuff about it, and I thought, I wonder if Christy will watch this with me. And I thought, okay, we'll watch the first. I talked her into the first episode, and I'm like, listen, if it's not your cup of tea, I understand. I'll finish watching it myself. We finished watching the first episode. She's like, all right, we have to watch another one. I'm like, yes, she's hooked. And like literally, we started a show late at one point because she's like, we had to get one more in. So
That's awesome.
such a good show.
It is.
So that needs to be high up on your priority to do list.
Yes, you would really like it. It's all like
I know.
there's a lot of like 80s nostalgia in it. It's really good.
Yes,
it's really
it
well
is.
written too.
Yes,
I consider it one of my worst failures.
Oh, piss.
Oh my God.
Ray, do you have another show to add to the list?
Yeah, it's one I've heard about for a long time. I've done a bit of just getting into it, and I haven't really sat down to watch it all yet. But Rick and Morty.
Oh, yes, it's on my list. I know it's been on for more than just this year, but oh, it's so good.
It looks really interesting. I really like the duo. I like that it's loosely based on Back to the Future. And so it's pretty funny. I've laughed at a few different parts. I'm like, okay, I got to check this show out. So
yeah,
That's one of
Rick
those
and
shows I don't
Morty.
like admitting that I like.
Speaking of which, they have Rick's portal gun that you can 3D print. Just saying.
Oh my God.
that would be fun.
Lady, do you have a show to add to the list?
I do. I had Jessica Jones on my list.
Yep.
I really,
that
really
was good.
enjoy that show. It took me a really long time to finish it because every time I would start watching it, I would watch it really late at night, and then it was so dark, like I couldn't sleep after I would watch it.
You know
So
what I liked
something
about
about
Jessica
watching-
Jones?
What?
That they didn't go with all the sex like all these other shows do. You know, they really didn't sink down to that level. I mean, it wasn't necessary, right? They didn't. Never mind.
Okay. Anyway, it made me really sad to see David Tennant be so horrible, but it was still really, really good.
Yes.
He was great.
he was great in that role, and Kilgrave is one of the scariest Marvel villains.
Yeah.
Like
He's
his
terrifying.
portrayal, the idea of the stuff that he did, just it was just mild stuff. Like when he told the kids to just go, and I'm just like, that to me as a parent, that's horrifying.
Yeah, like I said, that show is his character really got to me in a lot of different ways, and just made me very upset a lot. Like I stayed up all night, a couple of nights, just because I couldn't sleep because of Kilgrave. Like, oh, it was just a lot.
Yep, it's a scary power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, did you say you out? You have another one to add, or
No.
all right? Chris, you have another one to add?
Not really. It's just we binge watched all of Star Trek: The Next Generation this year.
Nice,
Yeah,
It was good too, but we do that one.
yeah.
very cool.
I've seen every episode of that show. At
Same
least.
here.
Love it.
Yep, and now I have two.
The other one that I had that I definitely had, of course, The Walking Dead. Now, granted, I'm several episodes behind on The Walking Dead, but
How would you get started it?
No, don't want to watch it.
How far behind are you on Game of Thrones, Eugene?
I'm seasons behind. What I'm not behind on is Voltron Legendary Defender. Oh my goodness, I'm a fan of Voltron, and I love what they did with this series. They've actually just released Toys of the Lions, and I really would like to get a hold of them for my boys because they enjoyed the series as well. So I really want to see what they end up doing with the second season. It's done, but what's funny is like when it comes to the big screen, with a few exceptions, DreamWorks tends to be. I've always considered them second place to Pixar, but when it comes to like on the small screen and their series and stuff, they're really knocking it out of the park with a lot of their shows. And Voltron's one of them. Like if you're a fan of the original series, it's definitely worth your time to check out the new cartoon on Netflix. So, all right, with that, let's go ahead and move on to other types of media. Ray, was there a different type of media that really stood out to you? Anything in particular?
Yeah, so I've been watching this guy for a little while, and he does a podcast as well as just YouTube videos once in a while. It's actually after every Leaf game, so I am a geek about Maple Leafs, Toronto Maple Leafs. And anyway, so his name is Steve Dangle.
Oh my god.
Chris can't, but I try and listen to every podcast he does. I love his views on, but he goes into the statistics. Oh yeah, no, he yells a lot, but
Yes.
Quinn loves him because he gets so excited about the games and everything. And I love the way that he edits his YouTube videos. He's done his podcasts run about 2 hours typically, and it's a great way of keeping up statistics as well as what's going on in the NHL. And so yeah, Steve Dangle.
Cool.
Dangle. Mhm.
Yeah, I know. That's what I think too.
All right, Lainey, what's an other media that you really enjoyed?
All right, I'm gonna just put this one out there, and I don't think anybody should be surprised. This is one of my best of 2016. But my queen Beyonce blessed me with an album.
Lemonade.
Oh my god, she dropped that shit, and I was losing my mind for a full day because it was only on Tidal, and I needed to own it. So as soon as that was available on iTunes, I had it and I was listening to it. And oh my God, it's just such a good album. Like whether you're a Beyonce fan or not, it's just a really, really well-written, well-performed, well-produced album. And then the movie that went along with it was so good, and just, God damn it, Beyonce. She just keeps doing this to me. It was so wonderful. And it kind of set the tone, I think, for, I guess, for my personal journey throughout the year. Just, oh God, it was so good. I love it. I'm just so thankful that she bestowed upon us that wonderful, wonderful gift.
Cyrus, what's another media that you enjoyed in 2016?
That was a great way of just changing the subject, Eugene. That was
I will go on forever.
I know, lady. We love you for it.
well done. Well done.
Well, I'm pretty much going to talk about games the rest of the show. So
That's
That's
dude.
fine.
That's fine. Okay. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like everyone's year was different, and I wanted you to talk about some of the good things from the year.
Very
So,
cool.
what you got for us?
there's a game that I recommend that you try if you ever get a chance. It's called Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. It doesn't take that long to go through. It's very unique. Don't want to really spoil too much about it, but I'll tell you this. You have to use your imagination while you're playing it because it doesn't show you everything. Like most games you play and this game takes place in 3D space, and you're going through a world, but you're seeing everything after it's already happened. And you're hearing the voices like echoes from the past, and you have to kind of figure out what happened and what you need to do. So you're sort of like following breadcrumbs throughout the whole game, trying to figure out what happened and what your place and everything is. Fascinating, very beautiful game, really good music and acting, and it takes place in England, and it's just really interesting, unique experience. There's no like heavy action or like crazy blood and gore and all that kind of stuff. It's just very artistic game. So I recommend.
What is it called again?
Everyone Rapture.
Yeah, Everyone's Gone to the Rapture.
Huh.
That sounds interesting, man.
That sounds really interesting.
It is. They gave it away free on the PlayStation Plus, but you can get it on computer and different things, I think, too.
Cool.
So yeah,
You piqued my interest.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. Chris.
Okay. So there's this YouTube channel. It's by a 26-year-old guy from Ottawa. He lives in a van.
This is
Ray
your
calls him my boyfriend. He's just this really cute kid. He's so nice, and he just lives in a van with his dog Champ, and he just travels North America, and he makes these amazing YouTube videos. And he's so honest in them. He's not one of those that just shows you the good stuff. If he's having a bad day, you're going to see it, and you're going to hear him bitch and whine, and then he gets it all out, but he shows everything. He tells you how much it's cost for him to live in the van, what he does for money, all the things that he wants to do in his life. And he did have a girlfriend at the beginning of their channel. And so you kind of see how he's changed the videos that he puts out since they broke up. Like before it was we're only going to show the good stuff, and they were very new to the van life. And then after they broke up, he's just gotten a lot more honest and a lot more real about what van life is like. Because Instagram makes it look very, very pretty and very serene. And it's not. It sucks living in a trailer sometimes because it leaks and
There's maintenance that you
there's
don't want to have to
maintenance
do.
you don't have to do, and it's not as cheap as everybody thinks it is. And it's cool though. I love living.
People that are realistic about that.
Yeah, and finding some. He doesn't even have 10,000 subscribers yet, but this guy should have thousands of them because these videos are amazing. And at the end of each video, he does this time lapse of just where he's camped, and it's just beautiful. And I love his dog. His dog's pretty cute too.
I like that.
Real quick, just as a side note, I was just looking up some of the pictures from that game. Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. Wow, that is a gorgeous looking game. So my first one on my list is probably the biggest influence one of the biggest influences I've had on my this year, and that is Punished Props on YouTube. The guy's name is Bill Duran. Him and his wife both quit their jobs and now make props, and they put out weekly videos. Making it out of EVA foam. They do a series on 3D printing, but he talks about painting techniques, sanding techniques. He's just he's he's a goofy guy, and he loves what he does, and it's phenomenal for me. It's almost akin to watching, in some cases it's almost like watching uh, 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 Bill Ross paint. It's like Bob Ross paint. It's like you start watching it and you're like, okay, what are you carving? What are you doing with this? Okay, and then this time goes by, you're like, okay, I'm starting to see it, and then you're just like, wow, that looks phenomenal. Like he's taken EVA foam, the foam mat, the same type of mats that people have like down in their garage or like in a gym or whatever, and painted it and carved it and done it in a way that it literally looks like a metal, weapon of some sort. And it's phenomenal. And it's something that I'm kind of aspiring to. So, yeah, Punished Props. If you ever get a chance, check out his stuff on YouTube. He's also very lighthearted, very funny. But yeah, he's done some awesome stuff, and I can't recommend the website enough. So, all right, Ray, what's another item that you had on your list for other media?
Yeah, so I know I've mentioned this guy a bunch of times, and that's Matt Pat from Film Theory and Game Theory. He's entertaining. He keeps his videos fairly short, but I just like the amount of research this guy does. Like, I like doing research, and so to see somebody else and actually talk about how much research they've done into his videos is pretty crazy. So, like, I typically, before we buy a car,
Oh my God.
I'll do like a year of research.
A year of research to buy a stupid car.
So I respect.
But I have to hear about it. That's the thing. I have to hear about it.
So I respect this man and his channel, but I also respect his wife because she puts up with it. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I like that too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not so much a fan of the GT Live. They do video games and stuff like that live, but I do like the game theory and the film.
Yes.
Theory, so
Really good.
Very cool. Lainey, what's another other item on your list?
Another item on my list would be I discovered this year. Well, no, I guess technically I discovered it last year, but I got very into it this in 2016. The Great British Bake Off.
Oh yeah.
That
Nice.
has been like my whole life force for like a while now, and all it makes me think is like, why am I working a regular 9-to-5 job when I should be at home perfecting my ability to make custard? I don't even like custard. But, like, I just need to be a better baker, apparently. That's all the show ever makes me think of. But it's so good. And I did start watching the American version, and it is really funny. Like, it's good. I really like it. But there's just something about the British version that's just so much better.
They're so good at insults and they're so quick-witted.
But they're all so nice to each other.
Yes.
Like, oh God, I love it so much. Plus the hosts are hilarious, and I love them so much too. So, but yeah, Great British Bake Off, like I said, been around for a lot longer than 2016, but was a very big part of my 2016.
Gotcha.
So wonderful. Also, why am I so bad at baking bread? Why am I not better at that? Paul Hollywood would be so mad at me.
Yeah, but the other stuff you bake tends to turn out really well.
Well, this is true.
So I love her cake balls. They're awesome.
Great cake balls.
Cake balls. You're gay. Sai, what's another other media on your list?
Well, I don't know if it's really media, but let me just say this. We have spent, you and I and a lot of other people have spent this past year obsessing about retro video games, right?
Yes.
yes.
And I discovered something this past year that has been really cool, and that's there's a company called 8-Bit Do, 8-Bit Do, and they make these Bluetooth adapters for old game consoles. Like I bought one for my NES and I bought one for my Super Nintendo. and so I can use any Bluetooth controllers on the original systems.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they also make Bluetooth controllers that look like the original controllers and feel like the original controllers. So I bought a Super Nintendo pad that's Bluetooth, and it's legit. I mean, it is so cool, and I highly recommend them. So, yeah, it's just fascinating how here we are at that time where all the stuff that was from our childhood is back and way better than it was before. So, yeah, just waiting for that Super NES Classic, which will probably be next year. But yeah.
Hopefully they make more NES classics, because dear God.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm still trying to get a hold of another controller, and it's still impossible.
Yeah. Supposedly there's new accessories coming from Nintendo. They got their own version of a extension cable for the controller, and then I think they're working on a wireless controller.
That'd be cool.
So yeah. That Super Nintendo Classic would be cool. I actually bought a RGB cable for my Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the absolute best quality you can get out of a Super Nintendo, but it just doesn't look the way you want it to on a HD TV. It looks great on a old TV, but you really got to have that. Like, I've got that retro USB AVS thing for my NES games, and that's native 720p HDMI, and if you don't have native HDMI, it just doesn't work. There's no way to convert that signal unless you want to spend like $300 and something on a special converter box. So yeah, a Super Nintendo retro whatever classic would be awesome. I don't want a damn Pi emulator. I'm tired of all the not quite right emulators.
Right, you want it legit. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I understand. Pardon me. Chris,
Yes.
another item.
This is not new. It's been out for a very long time, but we just got Netflix this year. And
Again, like we got rid of it.
well, no, when it first came out, because the CDC, the censorship or whatever.
We have a thing called the CRTC up here, which
yes.
they limit what can be seen on Netflix.
Yes.
Because other industry or competitors own the rights.
Yeah. So Netflix, when it first came out in Canada, sucked. So we only had now we've got it basically to watch Stranger Things. That's why we got it.
Yeah, that was the original.
And now we're obsessed. And the kids have gotten on it. And Quinny has been watching, I don't know how many nature documentaries on this thing. He's obsessed with these dinosaur documentaries.
And evolution.
And evolution. He's just gotten really and
well, you know dinosaurs aren't real though, right?
Of course they're not. They're made up. So are unicorns. But
And Eskimos.
it's just been a lot of fun, and I've been watching a lot of documentaries. I basically have been really unproductive since we've gotten Netflix.
I may have to cancel it.
Oh, welcome to America.
I learned a lot.
Welcome to everyone else in the world when they got Netflix.
But I've learned a lot. So yeah, I like Netflix.
And gosh darn it, people like
And
me.
gosh darn people.
There you go. Man, there's so many things I want to add on here because there's so many different YouTube channels I've been watching, but I'm actually just going to throw one on there that I honestly, the guy's been doing the videos all last year, but I just recently learned about it, and I posted to everyone about this, and that is Movies with Mikey.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched it yet.
Oh, I forgot you posted that.
Okay, you really do need to watch it, because here's the thing. I've heard an interview with the guy. Now, the guys that he was talking with, I disagree with them. They both particularly like the Red Letter Media stuff. The one guy in particular likes it. As soon as they mentioned it, he just went off on this rant, and I'm 100% behind him on this. He's like, the red letter media stuff is just, it's concentrated hatred for whatever it is. In this case, of course, their biggest thing was the Star Wars movies. He's like, it's just concentrated hatred. He goes, I'm totally trying to do the opposite of that. He goes, yes, I will talk about the bad points of a movie, and I will talk about the things that don't make sense or whatever. He goes, but I'm doing it from a part of joy. I'm honestly trying to bring joy. And when he does a review of a movie, and like I said, and he's right, he will point out some of the goofy stuff in a movie or some of the stuff that's not right or whatever. But the theories that he has as to why he likes the movie so much, it makes you feel good. They're super well produced. The one that he did for The Force Awakens was phenomenal. Cyrus, you are going to adore the one that he did for The Dark Knight, because he is so spot on. I mean, he literally just goes on and just brings that point after point about Heath Ledger's performance, and just it makes you feel good. It makes you liking movies, if that's a thing.
What is this guy's name again?
It's look up Movies with Mikey.
Movies with Mikey. All right.
Movies with Mikey. They're wonderful. And I mean, they're about 15 or 20 minutes or whatever. But like I started watching them just the other day, and I literally just started watching one right after another. And I haven't watched any for movies that I haven't seen yet. But like he did, of course I had to watch the one he did for Scott Pilgrim and The Dark Knight and Star Wars, and they make you feel good. They make you feel good about liking movies.
Has he done a Back to the Future one yet?
I don't know. I haven't gone through all of them yet. So, but yeah, they're great. They're great. If you haven't watched Movies with Mikey, check them out. So, all right. At this point, we've technically gone through the things that I said everyone had to have. And then I left the last 4 items were kind of up to you. They could be whatever you want them to be. They could be movies, they could be TV shows, they could be other media, or they could be something completely different. So, with that said, Ray, what's one of your other items that was pretty awesome in 2016?
All right, so in 2015, I was pretty let down that a tiny little show called Top Gear fired a couple of guys, and the show went to shit. And I was really excited that they got picked up, and now they're on the grand tour. And holy shit, it's so funny.
It's hilarious.
I've heard good things about this show.
It's funny.
Like, good on Amazon for letting these guys just go with their production, because they're literally allowed to do pretty much whatever they want, which is not what the BBC was allowing them to do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they can do whatever they want, and we've been watching it with the kids, and the kids get a real kick out of it too. The antics that they do with each other, it's the Top Gear all over again, but better. And I don't like work the Top Gear anymore because it kind of went to shit. So.
Yeah, the thing is, apparently, I mean, Amazon said it was going to be coming to all these different countries. Well, it wasn't day and date, and that show apparently, as soon as they released it, became blew past Game of Thrones and everything else as being the #1 pirated TV show.
It was Top Gear was the #1 show in the world, and then when this all happened, people were absolutely pissed that it was not released in all the countries all at once, Canada included. So, you have to do what you have to do to try and find ways to view these episodes sometimes.
Yep. And I think they figured that out pretty damn quick, because they've released the video pretty much everywhere now at this point.
And they have now, yes.
Didn't one of those guys on that show get in trouble for something?
Yeah, so in 2015, Jeremy Clarkson got into a bit of a fisticuffs with one of the other producers because there was not a hot meal at the end of one of their long days of shooting. So there was an investigation. Jeremy Clarkson was suspended. and then they never actually fired him, but they didn't renew his contract. And then the other two guys didn't renew their contract, and they all went to whoever was the highest bidder, essentially. And so Netflix was talking to them. BBC, there's another one that was over in the UK that was talking to them as well. And then Amazon won it out because they gave them the biggest budget and said, you guys run with it and just have fun. That's what they're doing.
Imagine getting in a fight over a meal. I mean, it's...
Jeremy Clarkson's
he's a
bit of a
princess.
diva. Yeah, he is.
He's a princess, you can tell, and that's okay. Because it makes the show. Those three guys together just make the show.
Yes, they do.
And it's yeah.
The chemistry's
You can't deny
amazing.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Lainey, what's one of your other items?
One of mine was a moment in this year, and let me preface this by saying I think baseball is dumb.
Okay.
But I have a penchant for the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, okay.
I love a team with a backstory. I also love really shitty teams. I'm from Houston, so we have the Astros. And I grew up going to Astros games, and I love it because they're terrible, but they got a good backstory. So when I was in like junior high school, I fell in love with the Cubbies when I learned about the Curse of the Billy Goat. And have loved them ever since, and got very, very excited when they finally got to go back to the series. I got even more excited when they won, and it was just a really, really fun moment for me to watch my Cubbies finally break that curse and to get to explain to people what the Curse of the Billy Goat was. Again, I had to explain to somebody that no, they did not let random animals into the stadium. That was not where the curse came from. People are very misinformed. But yeah, it was just a really great moment. Plus that video of Bill Murray, the moment that they won, is just going to live in my heart forever. Like whenever I'm sad, I just watch him watch the Cubbies win, and it just makes everything so much better. I want to be happy about something the way that Bill Murray is happy about his Cubbies winning the World Series. Like, oh my gosh, just wonderful. So
You'll see it when the Leafs win the Cup.
Oh God.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you'll have to videotape that and share it with us.
I'm
Oh.
down.
I will.
I'm down for some hockey. I like hockey. That's another thing I got to learn about this year is hockey.
Yeah.
Apparently, I actually really do like hockey. It's super awesome. People fight, and it's great.
And fast and awesome.
And super fast. Oh my gosh. It is not a slow sport. So, but yes. Anyway, but yeah, Cubbies winning the series. That was a pretty great moment for my 2016. And
Very
baseball
cool.
is dumb. So.
Let's see. Next was Cyrus.
Well, I have an event that happened this past year. Probably every bit as significant as the Cubs winning the World Series. At least I think so.
Well, then there you go.
I quit my job.
Yay!
Yay! Oh, sorry,
Yeah, I worked in a fucking pit of hell for 7 years at working for a warehousing company that thought it was fine for me to work 6-7 days a week, almost every week, 60-hour weeks, alternating shifts between showing up. I had to either get up at 3 a.m. or I had to get up and be there until 3 a.m. And this would happen during the same week. I lost countless hours of PTO time because I could never take any days off, because as soon as I would, somebody would decide they were sick. And so I wouldn't get to it was hell. It was utter fucking hell. I was in charge of people that I didn't want to be in charge of, that didn't want to be there. I hired and fired, so I had the worst of everything. And I thought I was going to have a heart attack almost every day. Probably cost me my marriage. Yeah. the worst fucking job. You know, I made good money, right? But yeah, it was fucking horrible. So I actually was talking to one of my new coworkers Friday about all this other job. This was the company that I was working for when the warehouse burned fucking down. Same company. And I was like, not a day goes by that I don't thank God that I'm not there. I don't care how much money I make anymore. I don't care about advancement. I don't care about ever being in charge of anyone ever again, because I have a job that pays me enough. And my ex-wife told me she had a thing. She said she had this saying, and it was not all money is good money. And
good point.
Yeah. And you hear that and you think about it, but you don't really understand it until you have watched everything die around you. And I was really glad to finally leave that fucking horrible job. So 2016, if one good thing came out of it for me, it was finally severing that fucking the head of whatever the hell that monster was, and moving on.
That's a big one.
Poor man.
That is a big one.
Mannon's still there. Poor bastard.
One day.
I you know what I listen to? I listen to a lot of podcasts now because I have a job where I can do that.
Uh-huh.
And I listen to this tech podcast, and one of the topics they like to talk about a lot is automated vehicles. You know how like all the companies are trying to make all these trucks and cars that are self-driving and stuff.
Yep.
And at CES recently, I was watching some presentations where they're really starting to make some major strides towards the trucking industry. And this is like a dream come true for me, because there's no group of people in this world that I hate more than truck drivers.
Really?
Oh God, don't get me started. They are.
I won't. But continue.
They are soulless pieces of shit, and I'm, well, I'd say 90% of them.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that are okay.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's a trucker.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, most truck drivers.
You won't listen to this. It's okay.
Most truck drivers are truck drivers for a reason, because nobody can fucking stand them. They are horrible, disgusting, putrid pieces of shit, and just nasty, ugly, horrible people that want nothing but to make everyone miserable around them. Obnoxious douchebags. So I look forward to the day that most truckers, the horrible truckers anyway, are out of work and have to go find some way to scam the government for money, because I know they're not going to get real jobs. So,
well, tell us how you really feel.
Anyway,
I hate truck drivers. I have a few truck drivers. I have a few truck drivers that are friends that are good people, but even they know these people are the worst scum of fucking earth. They just the worst people. Like I would like to exterminate them.
Okay. So
Before you
who's
go
next?
into your genocidal rant, we'll cut you off there.
We're having a pause in there?
Yeah, this is a highlight show, dude.
Ray, Chris, save us.
I don't know how to follow that.
You're our only hope.
An event. I mixed all of mine up with the TV's movies and other media.
No, it can be anything. It can be anything you want it to be.
So I discovered, and I finally embraced the fact that I really only want to read romance novels. I'm really, really trying with this book club to broaden my literature horizons. But I broke down and Ray got me this, I hadn't read romance in a really long time. And he got me this book that had 3 short stories in one book. And I was just like, oh, yes, I missed this. It was so good. So
Part of the reason why she didn't read Ready Player One.
yeah, because I kind of didn't want to. But I'm going to because I need to. And it's, I should read it. Sticking to one sort of genre of book is not good because you're missing out on all the other great books you could love and not know it. So,
But that being said, you love it.
but I really, really love a happy ending. I don't like it when books end sadly.
I agree.
Who doesn't love a happy ending?
I love happy endings. And if books, and I'm fine with an ending that kind of is not so great for the main character, whoever involved, but as long as it's like purposeful, there's a reason for it, not just because it needed to end and so they died.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like those.
It could be a happy ending, though. I mean,
but when they get together and they love each other and then they're gonna live happily ever after, I love that.
Well, we need to find a sci-fi or
There's-
fantasy.
But I read paranormal romance, so it's all like this makes me sound very weird, but it's like vampires and werewolves and demons and yeah, that's what I read.
Let's
That's recommend one. I have no problem with reading that for the book club.
Christy
Okay.
might join in.
There you go.
So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You reminded me of something. I had a question I wanted to ask y'all.
Yeah.
I had heard, I don't know, maybe y'all can confirm this since we're talking about books and stuff, that 50 Shades of Grey was originally fan fiction.
It is.
Or Twilight,
Yep.
yes, it
Twilight.
was, which should tell you a lot about the caliber of those books.
It is Twilight fan fiction. But I've read some really good Twilight fan fiction. I got really into Twilight when it came out.
Yeah.
Again, the paranormal romance.
Yeah.
But it was all fan fiction where Isabel and Jacob got together. I didn't read any of the other stuff.
So the author had to rip all that stuff out of the book? Like,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
she
all-
basically.
Yeah, she basically just changed all the names. That's why the relationship is still horribly emotionally abusive.
Yeah, it's a terrible relationship, and you can
Yep.
totally see it because it was one crappy book fanfic into another crappy book,
Exactly.
and the movies are just as bad.
You know what I love about Chris is that she really likes Twilight, but she'll still admit that.
I love Twilight. I don't care.
Not the movies.
No. Well, Taylor Lautner came out of that, so I'm fine with that.
Taylor Lautner.
I couldn't help it. He's all muscly.
my favorite part was
With a
when
baby
my
face.
favorite part was when he sparkled.
Oh, that was the other guy. Yeah.
That
Robert.
was Edward Scissorhands. No, Cullen. That's his
Edward Scissorhands.
I love
That's a
Edward
different movie.
Scissorhands.
That
That's
was
more
good.
my type of man.
All pasty with no hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that relationship's gonna have problems. So.
Yeah, it might. All right. So the first thing on my list, like, I actually did my list the opposite way because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to see how many of these slots I have open to put in for. Like I said, I had other things, other movies, other TV shows, or whatever that I also wanted to mention. But the 4 slots that I left for other events, yeah, they got filled up really quickly. The first one on my list was the Ghostbusters movie premiere this year. I enjoyed the movie. I did enjoy the movie. My boys enjoy watching the movie with me. What I will always very fondly look back to when this movie came out, though, was spending that Friday night at the local movie theater dressed as a Ghostbuster with my sister-in-law and taking pictures with people and promoting the website. And that was just
So fun.
so much fun. That
my
was the
God.
first event that I've done like that. And it was awesome. It was also the first event that I was like, okay, I have an idea for this. Let's see if it floats. And I actually kind of went out and like tried to promote it and try to get something going. So, yeah, that's kind of really special to me because it was the first event that we did that was like, I thought about it. I kind of came up with it, and then it worked, and it worked really well.
Yeah. It was so fun, and it was a cool way to like interact with people and promote the site, and it was awesome.
So it reminded me how fun Geek Fest was. Talking about
my God, Geek Fest was so much fun.
Yeah, we'll get there. So that was the first one on my list. So, Ray.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited to find out that Earth has a second moon. Scientists have discovered that we have a second moon that is 132, 350 feet wide. It's a tiny little thing that's out there, and it's just kind of floating around, but it's hanging out, and so we technically have a second moon.
I was really hoping that it would be like a big surprise that it would be Endor, but it's not.
It was just hanging out. No one has just noticed it until now. They're like, well, damn.
Really hoping that was going to happen, but no.
Yeah, sorry.
No Endor for Lainey. Damn it. But I was excited about that. That's super cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm glad you put something like that on your list. That's something that's like really kind of awesome. So
we're like one of those baller planets now with more than one moon.
I know, right?
We got more than one now. It's
moved up.
We are moving up in the world.
We're classy. We're
classy. Lainey, what's your next one?
So my next one, and I would say that this may be my defining moment of 2016. Ooh. This was more of a like pop culture moment, but it did take place on Vine. Not Vine. Was it Vine or was it Snapchat? I don't know. I really don't because I saw it on YouTube. And that would be the phenomenon that was Damn Daniel.
Okay.
Oh, man.
What was that? It was so stupid.
I loved it.
You millennials.
Yes. Damn Daniel, in many, many ways, it was a new beginning for me, and I'll just be forever thankful to those dumb boys in Southern California for being obsessed. Damn Daniel, but yeah, for being obsessed with his friends' white vans, and just a great moment for me, and I love it, and I will use it forever. So
yes, she will. And it's all good.
We forgive you.
Thank you.
Cyrus, what's another event or something else that you had on your list?
I think I've said enough.
The whole truck driver genocide?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to go on more about that. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know, man. I just y'all go on.
Said something a second ago.
What did I say?
I thought you'd mention a big reveal that had happened.
A reveal?
From Nintendo.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we're actually within days of this big, huge press conference that's about to happen. But yeah, they did reveal the Nintendo Switch and talked about what the system's going to be. And next week, we get they have an hour-long show where they're going to go into extreme detail and let us know how much the thing costs, and very exciting stuff. Nintendo's coming back in big ways.
I thought they were dead. I really did. I thought they were going to have to start selling Mario games and their type of games on the other systems because I thought they were gone.
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, Mario Run is on the phone, the iPhone, and it's ridiculously successful. Like, everybody was like, well, it costs too much. $10 is too much. But no, it's been okay. They've sold like millions and millions and millions of those, and it's like 50 million downloads now or something like that.
Yeah, and that's not even on Android yet.
Yeah, it's not even on Android. So
not yet.
Screw Android. Who cares about Android?
For you, I like Android. It's another day.
Yep, that's right. Chris?
I had another YouTube channel. It was a couple from, well, they're originally, I guess, from Los Angeles, and they quit their jobs and took off on a year-long road trip in their Ford Focus. And they happened to be web designers and stuff, so that's how they funded their trip. But they started a YouTube channel about halfway through their trip, and they were just the cutest couple ever. Their YouTube channel is called Fresh Off the Grid, and I don't even think they have 1,000 subscribers, but it was just adorable. They were so cute and just, hanging out in their tent and then taking it all down and putting it in the back of their Ford Focus and taking off to the next place. And they're not doing it right now anymore because they're taking some time off because I guess a year-long road trip is taxing on you as a person. And but I just really liked watching their videos. They were just adorable. It made me happy.
Like when you take a long trip and you have to get out of the car and stretch, and imagine how long you would have to stretch after a year-long road trip.
For a whole year, man. I think it's whole just gonna stay in one place. They're in Connecticut right now.
We were in the truck for 4 hours today, and that was long.
That was long enough, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, don't get me started.
It just makes me happy to see people living alternatively, because we do that, and it makes me happy.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
The next one on my list was also Ghostbusters related. Trick or treating with my boys on Halloween.
On Christmas.
On Christmas would have been awesome.
Same thing.
You talk about surprising.
Yeah.
You talk about surprising people. You show up at their door,
Right?
trick or
No
treat.
joke. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking forward to this. The boys, I was like, hey, you've got your proton packs that Daddy made you. Do you want to be Ghostbusters? And they both said yes. And then, we got their little costumes, and it was just awesome. I had such a blast. The costumes that I made for them in previous years, pardon me, the trains, Thomas and Percy, they loved wearing them, but they were kind of bulky, and it did slow them down. It kept them from being able to do a lot of walking. Granted, they were still only 2 and 3 at the time. So, we made basically the block, and that was about it. This year we went almost the entire neighborhood.
Man, we did it up this year.
Yeah. And, part of it is because, they had more freedom to walk. And the other reason, of course, being a little bit older, they had a little more stamina and they could actually make the entire neighborhood. But man, we had a blast walking. Aunt Lainey was with us on that one too. So,
It was so fun.
But yeah, just going along being Ghostbusters with my little guys. So, which, like I told Lainey, as soon as they got dressed, I looked at Lainey. I'm like, we have all 4 now. So
yeah, it was awesome.
But yeah, so that was a huge highlight for me this year was going trick or treating with my boys as Ghostbusters. So,
It was
all right,
cool
Ray.
moment. It was a very cool moment.
Yes, it was. All right, Ray. What's another one on your list?
All right. So another space-related one. We've known about these for a little while, but from 23rd of August to 18th of September, there were 9 bursts of fast radio bursts from a small galaxy that is about 3 billion light years away. We have no idea what they are. We have no idea what they were caused from, but we're detecting them. And I think it's pretty cool that anything to do with anything like that, where we're figuring out the universe, is pretty cool. So,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
You know what Stephen Hawking says about all this, right?
Yeah, we're toast.
He says we should be doing everything we can to discourage aliens from coming here, send out fake messages saying, we're all diseased and have
We're not home.
Yeah.
You know what? I think they're gonna see that anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was gonna say
what's that gentleman's name? That
Neil Tyson.
Neil
deGrasse.
Tyson.
Neil
Yeah.
deGrasse Tyson.
So I love this guy, and he describes intelligence a really, really great way. He says, we share 99% of our DNA with a chimpanzee. Our intelligence is in that like 1 point something percent. So if you take that 1 point something percent difference and you go in the other direction, somebody more intelligent than us, what would that look like? And we can't even have a conversation with that. So if you ever get a chance to look up the YouTube video, he does a way better job of it, but it's insane to think. And he said that's the thought that keeps him up at night is if there's something that much more intelligent than us out there, but it shares 99%, the DNA of us, that's just crazy. So,
Well, so, not to get too deep on this subject, but that's part of the problem that I have with a lot of people who are like, well, they would immediately come wipe us out. Well, who? I mean, you're coming from the thought. You're suffering from mirroring, which you're coming at it from your aspect. You're coming at it from your thought process. Your thought process is not going to be the same as something else. Could they come wipe us out? Yeah, but there may be a genuinely peaceful civilization. I mean, hell, the only way we're really going to get off this rock and get going is if we stop infighting about all this bullshit and like start focusing on actually making some genuine strides. And to me, I'm like, surely if another species has made these type of strides and has become interplanetary, if not intergalactic, hopefully they're a little more peaceful. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they're not going to give a shit about. Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, that's I have a little bit of hope there. So try not to be so doom and gloom. All right, Lainey, what's another one on your list?
So another one on my list is actually a book that came out this year. It's no secret, I love YouTube, and there's a lot of YouTubers that I follow pretty religiously. And one of them is Hannah Hart. I love her. I love My Drunk Kitchen. If you've never watched it, you should totally watch it. It's really, really funny. But she came out with a memoir, essentially, called Buffering, Tales of a Life Fully Loaded. Super, super good. Really incredible story. She has gone through a lot of stuff in her 30 years on this planet, and has a lot of really interesting insights. And it was just a very cool thing to, read the story of somebody who is in my age range, who has dealt with a lot of really heavy stuff, and kind of get to relate to her on that level. But just a really great book, really, really well written. I recommend it really to anybody. But that was one of my favorite books that I got to read in 2016. So just so good. I'm so glad I got to stumble across her one day and kind of get to watch her leading up to this little journey. So great book. Go check it out.
Very cool. Cyrus?
I'm too negative.
Well, you already mentioned one thing.
Geek Fest?
Yes.
I thought you were going to do it, so I didn't want to say
I am, but
about it.
tell you what, I mean, go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, Geek Fest was ridiculously cool. We had a great time. And, we broadcasted. We did separate videos. Y'all did your booth with the Ghostbusters stuff and the slime. And we got to harass Rudy.
That was awesome. We did a really fun show. Cool.
Yes, that was a fun show.
Yeah, we made new friends. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a big evolution for us, So looking forward to next year or this year or whatever's coming. Yeah.
Chris, you have another one?
No.
Good to go?
I'm good to go.
The Geek Fest was next up on my list as well. I
already said it.
Yeah, we had a blast doing that. Of course, we got to do the show. We learned a lot. Hopefully next year is going to be even bigger and better. I got invited back to the Jedi Councils, they refer to it, the planning committee. So going to be figuring out, hopefully how we can incorporate ourselves more so even into the festivities next year. So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait for that to happen again. Yeah, so that being said, I'll go ahead and throw in my next one, which was Classic Game Fest. We were originally supposed to be there. Unfortunately, something came up, so I wasn't able to make it. So Lainey and I ended up working the Geek Fest booth, actually. And we had a blast. We got to meet some really cool people. Including William and his awesome shirt printing company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
D20 Prints and Krista. Yeah. And got to meet them. I actually got to hang out with them at their house for a Christmas party, which was a lot of fun. So that's also where the other reason that was a big event for me was that's when we got to first meet the Austin area Ghostbusters, and we got to meet them and talk with them and find out more about what they're about and communicate with them and everything. So, which started off a lot of other really cool things that happened throughout the year. So, yeah, Classic Game Fest was a lot of fun. There were some issues with the event itself, but supposedly they're going to have that fixed next year. So, no live bands in the main area where everyone's trying to talk. So, but yeah, Classic Game Fest was a ton of fun this year.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, this was our first year to go to Fan Expo for an entire weekend.
Yay!
And it was a blast.
So much fun.
The pictures from that alone were adorable.
We had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun. The kids really enjoyed it. We found out that we can volunteer for it, and then that way we can get it free potentially. And
ooh,
yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and it was a blast. I got to meet Missy from Doctor Who, and
did you meet her and fell in love with her?
I did. I fell in love with her.
Did.
She's a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Scottish accent doesn't hurt.
She could read me the phone book, and I'd be drooling all over her. So she was awesome. And then I got to witness my wife after a very, very big freak out that she had.
Well, it was your fault.
I wasn't there, and she got to meet Alan Tudyk.
I didn't know about this. How am I just now learning about
Oh
this?
my God, I couldn't. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'll just stand in line. It's a really long line. You go do something with the kids. It'll be fine.
So I took the kids to go to like the Lego part.
Except the closer I got, the more like, I can't do this. I can't do this. He's right there. I can't talk to him. No. And then all I could say was hi. And I picked out this picture. He signed it. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I left. And as I'm leaving, he's like, no, wait. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, give me the sticker. He's like, here, take this. And I just slammed my hand down on the table. I grabbed it and left. And I was like, oh, I blew it. I had so much to say to him. I poured my little heart out to him and raised my buffer. He's the extrovert. I'm the introvert.
Apparently, I break the ice with everybody.
He does. He's so much nicer than I am. And he's comfortable with people. So he was supposed to be there to say, hey, Alan, and how's it going? And here, shake my hand and be all cool. And I was just supposed to stand there and just. Yeah, it was bad.
Which Kristen, he voices K2.
Oh yeah, he voices K2 in Rogue One.
Yes, he does.
I didn't know that.
He does a ton of voice work. Like he's flipping awesome.
Andy.
He's an amazing voice actor, which makes me love him that much more.
Yep, he's awesome. I love him to death.
Cool.
Best part of Rogue One.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it because he reminded me of Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin, but less depressed.
Yes, just a sassy robot. Tell you how it is.
It was actually one thing that we brought up. Sorry to cut you off there. We were saying that he's R2, if you can understand what R2 says.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard lots of people say that, and I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
So, Lainey, do you have anything else to add?
Nope. That's really all I had.
Good deal. Cyrus, you said you're pretty much tapped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris, you said you're pretty
I'm
good
done.
to go. All right.
I really just want to move forward, and
You are, buddy.
And you are. And
We are moving forward.
no, I mean like it when we're sitting here trying to think about 2016, my brain is just like not wanting to go back there, like like don't you have another one? I don't know. And,
Well, there's something else that you could have mentioned that like I said, I actually have two more that I just wanted to throw out there. Guys Weekend, even though unfortunately Manon and Jay weren't able to make it, we still had a ton of fun at Guys Weekend. Like we ate a lot of good food. We played a lot of awesome games.
I got to sleep in a real bed.
Oh, Jesus, really? You had to sleep in a real bed last time too. You just whatever. So yeah, can't wait for Guys Weekend 2017. Gonna have to start planning that actually here pretty quick. Because I think there's some people we need to extend the invite to. So like I know Derek's had a lot of stuff going on. We probably need to try to invite him again. So. But Guys Weekend was really awesome. And then the other one I had to just throw in there, and she'll never hear it because she never listens to the show, but I had a ton of fun at my couples retreat with my wife. I mean, I know it was just a weekend, but like we just being able to do whatever, like, we hung out, we went and had dinner, we like just kind of drove around and
the sex. No.
Please stop.
All right. That's the tequila.
But no, we had a lot of fun. So granted, I love being around my boys. I've got the boys, this weekend by myself. We've been playing with. Of course, they've been really interested in Daddy's new machine that makes stuff. But we've been playing Lego. Oh, I showed them the Lego movie today. They loved it. We've been doing stuff with Lego, and then I've been playing the Nintendo with them and stuff. But I need to. Last year, one of my resolutions, not resolutions, I hate the word resolution. One of my goals was to have a date night at least once a month with my wife where we like go out and at least eat dinner, maybe go watch something or whatever. We sucked at it. We just did not do well at it. So this year, we've got to fix that. We've got to make more time for us. So
My favorite was this year on Nell's anniversary. No one could decide what they wanted to do. So
I know what they wanted to do.
Stop. So Christy was like, well, we might as well just have me go do something with Lainey and then have Eugene go do something with Lainey so everyone can do something that they actually want to do.
I forgot about that. That was funny.
It was really funny.
So, all right. Well, that pretty much wraps up our some of the best things that happened to us, at least during 2016. So
we didn't die. Hey,
that's always a good thing. So let's go ahead and move to our picks and pans for the week. Would anyone like to go first?
No.
I'll go first.
No.
I didn't think this was supposed to finish until about 12:30 tonight, but it apparently finished early. I just finished taking off my next print off of my 3D printer I got for Christmas. I got a Dremel Idea Maker 3D printer, and like my mom and my dad and my wife all went in together to buy this thing for me. And like quite literally when I opened it up, I teared up because this is going to open up so many new realms and possibilities for me being a prop maker that I just, it's flipping awesome. I've basically had the thing turned on since about, I don't know, 10 or so this morning, and it has been going almost nonstop because there's just so much stuff I can't wait to do with it. So if you're, there's a lot of research and stuff if you ever decide you want to get into 3D printing, but I can't recommend this. I mean, like I said, I've only had it for, and up and working for about a day, but man, everyone I know that has one is just like, they love it. It's awesome. So it's definitely an interesting hobby that I can't wait to dive more, deeper and deeper into. So, Lainey, pick or pan?
I'm looking at my pick or pan list, and I know I already talked about my mermaid blanket last week. That's definitely still my pick, though.
Still your pick, the mermaid blanket?
Yeah. No, but no, I think my pick for this week actually would have to be the American Baking Show. They're in the semifinals right now. and it's been really, really awesome. And actually, over my holiday break, I was hanging out with Parker, and we were talking about like, well, what should we watch? What should we watch? What should we do? What should we do? And miraculously, he actually recommended. He's like, well, why don't we? Maybe we should watch that baking show you like so much. So it's just getting really, really good now. Like it's in the semifinals, and so it's kind of taking over my life, and I love it. So
awesome. Cyrus, you have a pick or pan for the week?
Yes, I do. I have a pick. I would like to recommend peanut butter M&Ms.
I knew you were going to say that. They are flipping.
Dude, you're
awesome.
like 10 years late to the party.
They were on sale at the Walgreens.
Oh my God.
Christmas candy. Yeah, they are objectively superior to Reese's Pieces.
They are not. No, it's not objectively. They are 100% superior.
Wait a minute.
No, for real.
It's a big statement there.
It is I agree with you, and it is also accurate.
Oh.
Yes, M&M Master Race.
And now I have to say no. Thanks a lot, Zach. No, but seriously, peanut butter M&Ms are the shit.
Yes,
like,
they're like
so
crack.
good.
They're pretty good. They're all right.
Yeah, they're like crack. I could just basically just rip off the end of the bag and just go
Yeah. Just funnel them
Just
into your mouth.
chomp it like it's like your Pac-Man. Just,
Yeah, no, not even. No, I'm not even like chomping them individually. I'm just like like
pouring them into your
There's like
face.
Yes.
15
They're
of
just,
them.
they don't even like go down your throat. They just like merge into your face. Like
Yes. I just need a funnel. That's what I need. I need the
They're
M&M
so
bag and a
good.
funnel.
as
They're
soon as they
even
make
better.
contact with you, they just become you. It's
I like
pretty
to get
much.
them on
That's what
road
my scale is
trips.
saying.
No, the key is get them on road trips and then like put them on your dashboard for like 2 minutes and then open them, because then like the peanut butter and the chocolate get kind of melty. Oh, they're so
See,
good.
all I see is the scene from Tommy Boy where he turns and they just like all roll into the car, and David Spade's like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Oh yeah.
All right, well, don't let that happen.
Yeah, such a good movie, by the way.
I was gonna say you do that up here, they just freeze
Just
right
freeze
now.
it with
They just freeze instantly. Chris, you have a pick or pan for the week?
I have both. Pick. We went down to Ray's sisters because Logan, our daughter, and our niece got tickets to see Potted Potter, which is a unauthorized sort of comedy show where it just condenses all 7 books into 70 minutes, and it's basically
Two-person show.
two-person show of this guy telling his friend who knows nothing about Harry Potter. So really, what does it sound like? Somebody who's never heard of it. It's ridiculous. But anyways, they went by themselves. It was just for the two of them. Our niece is 14, and Logan's going to be 11 next week actually. And it was just, she was so grown up. She was so excited. The two of them went to the downtown Toronto to the theater by themselves.
They had a blast.
They had such a good time. She was looking forward to it. She spent her own Christmas money on a new outfit. This is the teenage years, and it was just so awesome. And going down to his sister's house is always a bit of a. I love her. Well, no, I love her, but she's very. She promises a lot of stuff to her kids, and even if it's 11:30 at night, she will do it. Snow cones. Like snow cones at 11 o'clock at night.
Whoa, she sounds fun.
She's fun, but it's just like, oh my God,
I wanna live there.
I'm tired. I want to go to bed. But then it winds up turning out to be this really great experience. So hanging out with her, you have a plan, but the plan goes to shit 95% of the time. But you wind up having a good time with her. Like you eat dinner at 8:30, 9:30 at night because she's just, I don't know how it happens with her.
You start watching a movie at 11:30,
We didn't go to bed both nights until 1 o'clock in the morning. The kids were up till 1 o'clock in the morning last night because we were all watching a movie downstairs in her basement because she promised the kids that that's what we were going to do. So that's what we did.
So basically, we prepped for the show tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Well, there you go.
But she's really fun. So it always winds up being really great with her. And then the pan is coming home. I made a mistake when we were coming. We had to turn off. We could go 2 directions. One was going to be a more well-traveled road, but it would take us longer.
take us a little longer.
It would take us longer.
is a little bit more protected.
Or take the shorter route that was probably plowed, but we weren't sure. And I went for the shorter route because I just wanted to get home. And it wound up being about 45 minutes of Ray white knuckling it through whiteouts. So I feel very bad that I made that decision. I was like, no, babe, let's just go. I just want to get home. It'll be fine. Don't worry. No, it was not fine. He should not have listened to me.
No, I shouldn't have.
No, I was wrong.
I'm not going to listen next time.
No. Just go the other way. But it was bad. The drive was just absolute shit. And it was fine all the way up until there. And then just a half hour before home, it was terrible.
But we're home safe.
But we're fine. We're home and it's good.
That's all that matters.
But God, but it gets your heart going. And
I'm sure it does.
Praying. You start praying. You don't believe in God, but you pray because you just want to go home.
I love it.
I wonder what those prayers are like when they get to them. It's like, what?
Yeah. This
I haven't heard this from this person for a long time. What the hell's going on?
Yes.
Oh, now you need me. Now you believe.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Now you call. Yeah.
Exactly.
when you need.
Sounds like your mom.
It's always when you need something.
Exactly.
You never call me to ask about bingo night with Dolores. No.
Ray, you got a pick or pan for the week?
I've got one of each. I'll do my pan last because there's a bit of at least a little bit of funny to that one. So my pick is the lightsaber.
We know you wanted the purple one, all right?
No, the thing that they had for Carrie Fisher and
the lightsaber vigil.
Yes, and
Vigil, not visual.
Vigil.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Anyway, it was beautiful. Like that was pretty cool that they did that. And,
Did you know that she was
and
cremated?
that was the next part.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
her. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Go Ray.
Or-
No, you go ahead.
no, her urn was a Prozac pill.
Yeah, it was a Prozac pill.
Like that's awesome.
I
She's
love her so much.
Even in death, she's making sure that people remember, mental illness, and she puts a lighthearted look at it, and
Yep.
it's amazing. So
What was that quote that she said that she has to laugh about her life, otherwise it would just be true?
Yeah.
That's totally unacceptable.
yeah.
What's your pan?
So my pan. So as we said, we were down in Toronto, and in Toronto, sometimes your reception on your phone is not the greatest. And so we were driving down to. I had all the kids with me in my truck to get them to the theater on time. And so we're driving along, and we are getting close, and it tells me to turn right. And so I turn right, and it tells me that my destination is on the right. And I look to my right, and there's a theater there. And I'm like, oh, great. And I look at what it's supposed to be showing, and it says live nudes.
Oh.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Nice. And the area that we were in was pretty sketchy. I'm like, this isn't the right spot. What the hell's going on? Anyway, I turned the corner. Luckily, my phone was just off a bit. I was off by about a block. And the actual theater was about a block away. So we just walked to it, and we were good. But my heart was skipping a beat. There was no way in hell I was letting my 10-year-old and my 14-year-old niece go to a live nude event. I almost took a picture and sent my mother the picture to say, what the hell are you doing?
That would have been worth
That's hilarious.
She bought them the tickets for Christmas. That would have been. You should have done that.
I know. I so wanted to. I wanted to get a picture of them in front of the theater saying, "What have you done?"
Oh, you should have. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. I just we didn't have time because we had to get past the nudie joint to get to the other theater.
To get to the That's hilarious.
Anyway, that's my pick and pan.
Well, that is our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. I have done some changes too. I've been working on it slowly but surely, trying to get the audio sounding better. I know it has not sounded great the last several episodes. Hopefully the fix that I worked on tonight will accommodate that. So we'll see. But that being said, if you would please, wherever you listen to us, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. It actually does help out a lot. It helps get the word out that we have a show and gets people listening to it. Who knows? Maybe one day we can actually make a little money on this, and I can actually pay to have someone help me with the networking stuff. That being said, you can follow the site on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Epically Geeky. And of course, you can check the website at epicallygeeky.com, where we have links to all the shows that we do, to include this show, the Marginally Geeky Show, which we just had our most recent episode come out here about Ready Player One. So definitely go check that one out. And then, of course, the newest show on the network, Epic Rhythm and Brews with Lainey and Parker, where they talk about music. So, and then, of course, you can find our individual wacky adventures online. Where can we find you, Cyrus Martin?
Pretty much just go to YouTube and look for Cyrus Martin or Video Game Virus, and you'll find me. And yeah, all my fun videos about video games and stuff, retro and new, not just new stuff. I do old stuff too. Which right now I'm on a Atari kick again, so check it out.
Very cool. Lainey, where can we find you online?
You can find me at the Epic Rhythm and Brews podcast, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's a Lainey Bird.
Chris?
You can find me on Instagram at Lake Life Mama.
Ray?
Search for Lake Life Artist on Instagram.
And you can find me online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.